Yo, I'm gonna have to do this again because I rewatched the video and I didn't ask the right question. So we gonna do this again so we can get down to the official resolution of this here. Here we go. Here we go. Chat GBT. If the new year started in April, no, I mean, Chat GBT. If the new year started in May 2025 and every month is 28 days plus a new moon high holy day, what year would it be if time reset during COVID-19 and every 3 years is 13 months? It's taking its time. That's a deep question. Look at that. Look at that. Nice puzzle. Look at that. Look at that. Let's scroll down. Look at that. It says you would be in year 7. We going into year 7. That's how the calculation we got. We going into year 7, right? But look at that. Look at that. Let's read this. Time reset January 1st, 2020. Right? Each month have 28 days plus a new moon high holiday. Every 3 calendar years contain a 13th month. Every 3-year block has and 1 extra month. Today, how I calculated, 1 normal year is 348 days. Look, that's what ChatGPT put. You would be in year 7 of this calendar. And if you want the month, day 2 is year 7, month 1, day 27. So they you know what I mean? That's off. Because we supposed to be in the 8th month. Is we in the 8th month. Because look what I asked it. I said, if the new year started in May 2025 and every month have 28 days plus a new moon high holy day, what year would it be if time reset during COVID-19 and every 3 years is 13 months? You know what I'm saying? So, they close with the year 7, but they saying is the I don't know how to get month 1. You know what I'm saying? Because if you calculate from May, we be in the 8th month. You know what I'm saying? December make it the 8th month. Watch this. Chat GBT. If the new year started May 2025, what month are we currently in today? See? See that? It says, if you want, I can also calculate the day number inside month 28 combined with your 29-day month or 13-month cycle. Yes. I don't know how I do that. Let me see. I'm going to just put, yeah, sure. Okay, great. Here's a full calculation using your custom calendar rules. Your rules, the new year began May 2025. That's month 1. Every month equals 20 plus a new moon high holy. How are we figuring out what month and day it is today? So we in the in month 8, like I said, right? Day 12. You know what I mean? But in the way we calculate it, we 6 days ahead from that. You know what I mean? But it tell you we in month 8. So it's not all the way off. You know what I mean? But the point is, the reason why I asked is because it says we in year 7. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, we're going into year 7. You know what I mean? So Chat GBT might be a little bit off with that. You know what I'm saying? But that go to show we not scared. We ain't no fear over here, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gonna calculate the shit down to the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? We 6 days ahead of the regular calendar. You know what I mean? Because by the time we got to it, we had calculated it from the 28th day. And then so when we hit the 28th day, right? Or I mean, whenever we went to it wasn't recognized on the Gregorian calendar. On that calendar, right? We was behind. I mean, because once we hit 28 days, after that is a new moon, and then there's a new month. When we hit that new month, we might be on the regular calendar. We still in the 20s. We still in the 20s and all that. You know what I'm saying? So we days ahead of of that calendar. We days ahead. Know what I mean? Because how the 28 days and the new moons land. By the time you get to your 28th day, when you put it on the calendar, it's not going to be exactly 28. Watch this. Let's go back to ChatGPT again. Watch this. Okay, let's go back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, if you calculate that is 28 days in a month, will you get the exact day? ChatGPT, if you calculate that is 28 days in a month plus a high holy day, new moon high holy day, will the dates be exactly the same that's on this same calendar if the new year started May 2025? Look, No, the dates will not stay the same. If every month have 28 days plus one high holiday, here's why. The dates won't match on the regular calendar. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? The months are not, look, they're usually, look at that. The real calendar month has, that's what, see, that thing is the real calendar, but it's not. They came up with that calendar, right? So your months end earlier and they would drift away from the real world dates, the so-called real dates, right? Here we go. Month 1, month 2, month 8. Look, 1.4 days a month. That'll be 11 days. It says, your custom 29 days do not keep the same dates as a regular calendar. You know what I'm saying? It would not line up the same day every year. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it says, no, your custom 29-day month do not keep the same dates as a regular calendar. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if today is, it can't be the 12th, because like it says, it's not going to be the 12th when you calculate it correctly. You know what I mean? But, you know, I just wanted to put that out there because we're not scared. We know, you know what I mean? We know the calculation. You know what I'm saying? Chat GBT is a little bit off. It's a little bit off because it's spiritual. It's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is the Gregorian calendar, how they deal with it. This is the calendar they made up that in 1582. You know what I'm saying? Watch. Chat GBT. Did they change the calendar in 1582? Yes, the calendar was changed in 1582. What happened? In 1582, much of Europe switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian, which is one we still use today. The biggest, look at that. The biggest change, to fix or drift the error in the old 10 days were removed. Look at that. They removed 10 days from October. The date jumped from October 4th to October 15th. Look at that. It says they removed 10 days. This is Chat GBT telling you this. Why did it change? Because the Julian calendar was slightly too long each year. Over centuries, this caused holidays like Easter slowly drift away from their intended seasons. You know what I mean? So even that calendar was off. Because it's 13 months every 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And then something happens where, you know, it's going to be like an extra month or something like that because the date's going to move. That might happen like every 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not me, but, you know, we know that it's 13 months every 3 years. And then as the dates move, you know what I mean? It could take another, it could take another 30 years for it to reset or reclaim an extra month. Some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but even right here is telling you that they changed the calendar in 1582. Right? Because holidays like Easter slowly drift away from their intended seasons. You know what I mean? Changed leap year rules. Right? A year is the leap year divided by 4. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's telling you they changed the calendar. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually part of prophecy. That's prophecy. Watch this. I'm about to type it in. I don't know how much. There you go. Here we go. Wanted to change times and seasons. KJV. Look what it says right here. In Daniel 7:25. Look what it says right here. They shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and to think to change times and laws, semicolon. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. And what are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? This is dividing of times. We breaking this thing down. You know what I'm saying? Because we know they lying. The new year starts in April. And I mean, so why are we celebrating the new year, you know what I'm saying, in the wintertime? When the word of God says, you know what I'm saying, the new year starts in April. And I could prove that too. Let's go to Chat GBT. Watch this. Chat GBT. According to the Bible, when does the new year begin? According to the Bible, the new year begins in spring, not January. Look at that. The Bible states the first month of the year begins at the time of the spring, barely ripening the new spring new moon. Right? Exodus 12:2. Right? When is Abib? This begins in spring, usually around March, April on the modern calendar, or May. Two signs determine, right? According to the Bible, the new year begins in the spring, March or April, the first new moon after Abib. If you want, I could also tell you what month and day would it be today using the biblical calendar. See, they got that. What is your custom 13th? I put 2. If you meant to, tell me when is the next biblical New Year will be. Here's a traditional calendar start of the year. But this is interesting stuff, man. Watch this. I want this one. How does my custom 13th month / 29-day calendar compares to the biblical one? It says, here's a clear side-by-side comparison of your custom calendar and the biblical calendar. You'll immediately see where they match and where they differ. Look what it says here. It says regular months, predictable year. It says not tied to the moon, new moon, not tied to seasons. Your calendar will drift away from real seasons and real little over time. But they doing it now. You know what I'm saying? They doing it now. Because people celebrate their birthdays, but every year your birthday changes from one day to the next. Right? And it happens with their calendar too. So they being hypocritical right now. It says biblical calendar Torah, Hebrew, lunar month 29. This is deep stuff, man. But I just wanted to share that, let you know we ain't no fear over here, man. You know what I'm saying? We can combat this. But like I said, we're going to do this to the times and the dividing of times. And I'm going to leave it like that. I see you when I see you.